Hello, everyone, and welcome to Astrology in the News. Man, is it an active news? It's an active news week, man. Holy crap, so much has been going on. And of course, today is April 27th, 2018, and I present this from me to you. But first, we must take a look at Yogic Wisdom of the Day. Yoga is a practice of quieting the mind, which is very good advice, and that's pretty much accurate. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but nuts and bolts, that is pretty much the practice of yoga. Now you can learn how to be a goat whisperer with goat yoga. Isn't this exciting? Go quiet the mind when you're hearing a whole bunch of nyeh, right? You know, it's kind of like going to an Alice in Chains concert or maybe living with Eddie Vedder. I can't really tell the difference between the two. Maybe Stone Temple Pilots, Scott Weiland. So, yeah, so there's a lot of dead rock star singer goats out there. That's my point. So, goat yoga does have its shortcomings here. Let me translate you for this guy. He's like, hey, man, why are you doing goat yoga? Let's do. It's like, no, fuck goat yoga. Why are you doing goat yoga? I don't understand goat yoga. What? Why would you do goat yoga, man? Why would. Oh. What? It should be relaxing. No. Uh-oh. It's relaxing. He's like, no. So yeah, that's goat yoga. Anyway, back to this here. All right, prediction update. And of course, this is awesome. The Koreans move toward peace. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be a lasting peace, but if you think about it, what the best outcome of this situation is not war, because really, if you go in, you bomb North Korea, the North Korean people suffer the most. And so I kind of look at this as kind of like how the reunification of Germany, except East Germany did not have nuclear weapons. But anyway, 6 months ago, people would be like, we're all going to die. Of course, I don't foresee this happening. So how did I do it? How did I make this prediction? Well, it's very simple, by using the basics again. So let's take a look at Kim Jong Un's chart. So really, it comes down to this. If you take a look, he has an exalted Saturn here, and his moon is in the sign of Aquarius, which puts Saturn in the 10th house of Aquarius in a position of exaltation. So usually Saturn in a sign of exaltation shows somebody that's very good at working with people. So we get all this news about Kim Jong Il being an evil person. That's not necessarily the case, at his chart. And see, right now he's going through his Saturn dasha, and the thing about his Saturn dasha here is that it's going to be lasting until his Mercury dasha in 2022. So right now, I don't see anything in the dasha side. Well, first of all, he's going through a dasha of an exalted planet. And when you're going through the dasha of an exalted planet, it's going to give you exalted results. And he's the exalted leader of North Korea. So really my prediction was based on the fact that looking at his dasha chart, he's not going to be switching over until he gets into his Mercury dasha, which is retrograde here in the sign of Sagittarius in like 2021, 2022, right? So we'll have to see how that plays out. And another thing too is we don't have an exact birth time for Kim Jong Un. So if somebody has that, just go ahead and shoot me an email down below. But anyway, even with that and not having his birth time, that's only going to make about a year's difference in the Vimshatori Dasha system. So looking at this chart, I see this chart and I think this guy's going to be around for at least a few more years. And once he goes into his Mercury Dasha, that's going to be a little bit difficult because that's retrograde Mercury. So yes, it's not going to be, he's not leaving office this year. Let me put it that way. All right, Tom Brokaw is accused of sexual harassment. All right, here's another one. We have pictures of this. Look, it surfaced. Look at her. She's being harassed. So remember, guys, always wear protection when doing harassment. That goes for you, Mr. Brokaw, if you happen to watch this, what I doubt you might. All right, Tom Brokaw's chart. We do have a birth time for him. So taking a look at this, is this a guy that would be likely to do something like this? And taking a look at his chart, actually, he is a Scorpio ascendant. So what we have to do is we have to look to the position of Mars. And Mars is actually in Gandanta here. Gandanta means that it's at like it's at the first or last degrees between the cusp of a water and fire sign. And when you have a planet there, it's a difficult placement. And when you have the Lagna Lord, especially there, this is at the end of the zodiac. So it doesn't necessarily mean that somebody is, how do I put it? It doesn't mean that they're going to be like some sort of like a sexual harasser, right? Looking at this, this actually shows somebody that's living out a high level of spiritual incarnation. And he also has K2 conjunct Mars. So that is a very fiery combination. So we're looking at somebody who probably doesn't take very much crap with people. And it's also bolstered by this Jupiter here. So when you put all this stuff together, and this is in the 5th house, this is actually very good for creativity and communications, which we really can see this, we saw this play out over his career. So looking at his dasha system, he's in this Mercury dasha, and this allegedly happened during his Saturn dasha. So if we take a look at his Saturn now, Saturn here is in the 6th house. Actually, Saturn in the 6th house usually deals with people winning litigation. So but the thing is, his Saturn is debilitated. So if anything comes against him, he has to fight really, really hard in order to win that. And then if you take another look at his Saturn too, it's also debilitated here in the Navamsa chart. So Saturn actually too in the Navamsa chart becomes debilitated here in the 5th house. So I guess what I'm getting at this is, if he is accused, will he win? And the thing is, probably, but not without an extremely difficult fight. Right now, knowing him, I don't think he's going to take these accusations sitting down, and I think he is going to fight back with his Ketu Mars conjunction. Then he also too has Venus here in the sign of Aquarius, which really, you know, is people with an Aquarian Venus have a very interesting relationship, but it's not like a perverted relationship. Now, the Scorpio ascendant, yeah, Scorpios are a little bit more highly sexed than other people, but that's not always the case. You really have to look at other things. So, and then here, now this is interesting. He has his Moon, Sun, and Mercury all in the 3rd house. This is very good for writing. So I see why he's a journalist. He picked a very good career for himself. Bottom line, looking at his chart, it's hard to tell whether we can actually say this guy's a sexual pervert. You know what? Actually, on overview value, I'm going to say no. All right. All right. Now, this was interesting. This happened a few days ago, but it's been so busy that I haven't had a chance to get to it yet. So, yes, Lindsey Buckingham was fired from Fleetwood Mac. He finally broke the chain, and he's going his own way. Yeah, you like Fleetwood Mac. So, do have an accurate birth time for Lindsey Buckingham. This is another fascinating. So this isn't exactly Tom Brokaw. This isn't exactly like Tom Brokaw's chart. However, there's one principle here that's close, and this is the placement of Mars. Now, Lindsey Buckingham has his Mars conjunct his ascendant in a sign of debilitation, conjunct Pluto here. This guy knows how to get his way. He knows how to manipulate people, and he knows how to get what he wants, right? This is actually kind of close to, you know, if you see this combination, think Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's, we don't know where her ascendant is, but Hillary Clinton has Mars and Pluto and her moon all in the sign of Cancer. And so when you have this, it makes somebody have an explosive temper. I don't know why he quit or he was fired from the band, but taking a look at this, the North Node is actually transiting in this 1st house right now, so I'm thinking he's probably erupting violently and yelling at his bandmates a lot because he's not getting his way, okay? So we have Saturn here in the 2nd house in the sign of Leo, and that's somewhat of a difficult placement here. Now, he has an exalted retrograde Mercury conjunct the Sun. This guy is smart. This is in the 3rd house. This is about writing, right? And also, too, this is also, too, about perfection. So the way that you want to put this together is we have somebody who has an explosive temper, and this is likely triggered by imperfection. So small things really bug him. Small things really get to him. So it can be very difficult for him to really express how he feels, and he probably holds his anger back. This is another thing with Mars and Cancer. They tend to hold their anger back, and when it comes out explosively. All right. So other things that Jupiter's, it's fairly well placed here in the sign of Sagittarius. However, this is in Sandi. It's not the same as Gandanta, but it's like one more tick of the degree, and this would be a debilitated Jupiter. So it's not a really strong Jupiter. Let's see, Moon here in the sign of Aquarius. This actually gives somebody a little bit of emotional detachment, actually, and this can actually lead to problems. So when the Moon is in like an Aquarius and Pisces, especially in a Saturn sign, it behaves like an emotionally detached person. They don't really get very angry, but in this case, this is really, he does get angry. He just suppresses the emotion. So really it's going to be like, I don't want to talk about it until, you know, he has to, then right? So this is why, that's why I think it was probably let go from, whatchamacallit, the Fleetwood Mac, the Fleetwood Mac. I don't know. I think he was a founding member too. But his Mercury, like I said, it's retrograde, but it's well placed. So this guy is extremely smart, just doesn't really know how to handle his temper. All right, that's all I had for you. Man, what an exciting active news day. If you'd like to book a consultation, go to nobigsecretsyoga.com and click on book a consultation. Consultations, one-on-one with me over the phone. You get a recording and I will send that to you via Dropbox. And if you want to check out some of my reviews, just go to nobigsecretsyoga.com and click on reviews and events, I believe. So, all right, have a great night, everybody. And hopefully I will see you next week where I'm sure it'll be just as active.